3 consecutive tournaments here in Bali. Group stage today, and just one more match to come, and it's men's singles, and it is the two-time former champion Kento Momota of Japan up against Lakshya Sen from India. Well, there's been one match in Group A, and of course with two Danes, they must play each other first if there's two players from the same nation in the same group. And I can tell you that after exactly 3 minutes, Rasmus Gemke retired when 1-5 down against the Olympic champion Victor Axelsen. So Rasmus Gemke is out of the tournament. He can't play again. Once you've retired, that is it. But Lakshya Sen against Kento Momota might prove very important indeed. It should be noted, of course, that Victor Axelsen's victory over Rasmus Gemke will not count towards the group standings, because it's not the player that retires. All of their matches within the group are counted as not having taken place. So introduced first onto centre stage is Lakshya Sen, 20-year-old from India, former world junior #1. And he's up against the two-time reigning world champion and two-time former winner of the end-of-year championships, Kento Momota. In fact, Kento Momota has been in 3 finals from 4 previous appearances at the end-of-year championships. Won the title in 2015 and 2019. And was beaten in the final in 2018. So this is the 3rd meeting between these two players, and Kento Momota has won the previous 2, both of them in 2 straight games. The last meeting was last week in the very first round of the Indonesia Open. 23-21, 21-15 in 54 minutes. So as you saw from the 2 groups, there are 2 players at the end-of-year championships from India. And it's the first time ever that players from India, 2 players, have qualified for the men's singles end-of-year championships. Lakshya Sen is just 20 years of age, from Almora, which is in the southern ridge of the Himalayan foothills. Altitude of 5,000 feet. Kento Momota is 27 years of age, and as I was saying, this is his 5th appearance at the end-of-year championships. Went down in the world ranking to #2. Victor Axelsen went up to #1 yesterday on the new world rankings after 121 consecutive weeks as world #1. Momota drops down to #2. So for Lakshya Sen, this is his first ever appearance at the end-of-year championships, and he played 7 of the 8 World Tour events in his qualifying process. The only World Tour tournament that he didn't play was the Spain Masters 300 event. Momota actually played 5 events, but only 4 of them counted towards the end-of-year finals, because in the semi-final of the French Open he retired against his teammate Sudirman after the first 2 games. It was 1 game all, and if you retire in a match against somebody from your own country, you get no world ranking points, and the world ranking points are the same as the World Tour finals qualifying ranking points as well. So Philip Ayangchi from America are umpire for this, and Diraj Gunedre from Mauritius, the service judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Lakshya Sen, India. And on my left, Kento Momota, Japan. Kento Momota to serve, love all, play.
So the three-time finalist, the two-time former champion, Kento Momota, getting this first, or their first group match underway.
One love.
It's an interesting scene. Had Momota got his ranking points for the French Open, he actually qualified at number 7 position for these World Tour finals, but had he got his ranking points, he would have been number 2.
And then he would have been seeded.
He would have been seeded 2, he would have been in the opposite group to Victor Axelsen. It has cost him big time, and I think he's going to retire.
Yeah.
Well, Carsten Koch from Germany, the tournament referee, comes on. And we are going to have another retirement. This is tragic. Well, we can't hear what's being said, but it is a
He's
retirement.
retiring due to his back.
So, at 1-1, so there's only 2 players left in this group. And that is Victor Axelsen and Lakshya Sen. Well, to be honest, I find this very disappointing. Of course, I'm disappointed for the players being injured, but the players who have played the first 2 tournaments here in Bali have remained here in Bali because they can't go back to their home countries because of having to quarantine when they go home. They're all staying here before going on to the World Championships.
Yeah.
And the next 2 on the list, Lo Kien Yu, who was in the final last week, and also Cho Tien Chen, I think was the next one, are both here and both could have played. But of course there's big prize money. If you walk onto court, you get prize money. It's interesting though that in tennis, if you don't give best effort, or if you know that you have an injury beforehand and retire very early on, you don't get prize money either.
Oh, I think you get the prize money, but you get a fine that is equal to the prize money.
Ah,
and that
right.
makes it unattractive to start and play one rally.
Okay. So the fine is equal to the prize money.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misunderstood that. Well, there we go. Maybe badminton can learn from tennis, because this is desperately disappointing. He obviously knew beforehand he was going to retire, and that means that day 1's matches have been concluded, which all started at 5 o'clock this afternoon with the second session with the Olympic bronze medalists and winners of 3 World Tour titles this year. Watanabe and Higashino, the number 1 seeds, beating the European Championship bronze medalists Chris Janssen and Boyer in 2 straight games. Then we had the World Championship silver medalists and finalists in both of the previous 2 events here in Bali. Hoki and Kobayashi beat the young Indonesian pair of Kusuma Wardana and Rambitan in 2 games as well. The only 3-game match, I think, of the entire day was the next mixed doubles. The defending champions, Puavaranukroh and Teurat Tanachai, who have won their last 3 World Tour events, eventually came through against Jordan and Octavianti, 21-11 in the deciding game. Then it was men's doubles, and the number 1 seeds, the world number 1s Gideon and Sukamuljo, the former champions, up against the defending champions and Olympic champions, Li Yang and Wang Chilin. That was 2 straight games for the Indonesians, Gideon and Sukamuljo. And as we've just seen, after 1 minute, Kento Momota, the 2-time former champion, retired against Lakshya Sen, the Indian player, in his first ever World Tour finals. So more group action tomorrow, 2 sessions once again, same as today. First session at 10 AM local time, 0200 GMT. Second session, same time as we were on, 5 PM local time, 0800 GMT. But in the meantime, from all of us here, from Steve Pidderson and myself, Jill Clark, bye for now.